Today we're going to talk about fuel management. I think this is one of the important factors to saving $10,000 to $15,000 a year. If you manage your fuel right, that's extra money to the business pocket every year. So now I want to talk about number one is going to small stations. Most corporate cards are through big stations like Pilot, Flying J's, Loves, TAs. And you notice most of those stations have fuel about 40 to 60 cents higher than the small mom and pop stations like Casey's, Quick Trips, and things like that. So when you go to small stations, you gotta also understand that you might have to pay for your own fuel. So when you're paying for your own fuel, you want to have a 2-week surplus. And the reason why I say you need a 2-week surplus is because if you get paid every week, it's going to be to the following week when your fuel come back to you, right? So if I work from Monday through Sunday and I pay for fuel Monday through Sunday, I'm not going to get my fuel back until that Friday, right? So, but when I start back, when I start that week, Monday to Friday, I'm still going to have to spend, whatever, $2,500, $1,800, $3,000 in order to keep it recycling. So if you have 2 weeks surplus, when it's going to keep cycling back into your business account, and then you can just keep going, because you just have 1 week. You're going to have a week where you're not going to get the money back, and it's going to be real difficult from that point. Another thing you're going to want to do if you're going to pay for your own fuel, you need to make sure you're not negative with the company you're working for. Because what happened is, instead of, for instance, if you spend $2,500 and you're negative, it's going to make your statement look like you made more money, because, of course, they know you're paying for your fuel, but it's going to make it look like you made more money, and the more you make, the more they can take, right? So keep that in mind. Another thing, number two, is cutting down your idle time. Your idle time spends, fuel when you idle. It also clogs up your DPF system. So what I do in order to not idle as much, I got an inverter and a fan in my truck. When it gets extremely hot, I turn my truck off, let my fan circulate. If it gets hot again, I turn my truck on again and get it cold, let the fan circulate. And I do that a couple of times a night before I go to bed. And by the time I actually go to bed, I'm usually fine. And I try to run in the daytime so I don't have to really idle. I can be running and it just shut down at night, and it helps me with the idle time, because most of the time when you idle a lot, it clogs up your DPF system, and you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to have downtime, and you're just going to pay in the long run. So keep that in mind. Operate to achieve the best fuel economy. And with that being said, you want to try to optimize your fuel economy by traveling between 60, 62 to about 60, 69, however your truck, because every truck is different, and you try to get the best, miles per gallon for your truck. That will calculate in a week's, hundreds of dollars. If you can master this, it would help you make, extra money in your pocket. Number four is tire pressure and alignment, etc. Your tire pressure plays a lot with your fuel economy. If you have low tire pressure, then your truck has to pull harder to pull your load, especially when you load it. So your tire pressure plays a great role. Your alignment also, because if everything is aligned, your truck, it's easier for your truck to, pull, the dynamics are better and things like that. You want to make sure you're getting your PMs. You got your fuel system, fuel filter, everything cleaned out, flushed out, and things like that. Make sure, everything is running rail with your truck. It will help you. All these things will calculate to $10,000 to $20,000 extra in your pocket by the end of the year. Pre-plan your fueling. What I've noticed, it's easier to pre-plan your fueling, especially if it's routes that you're used to going on. You can pre-plan it, and I've noticed that most of the cheapest fuel is before you get to actual major cities. You know, you ever notice you go like before you get to Atlanta, about 100 miles before Atlanta or something like that, the fuel is the cheapest. Once you get to around a major city, then it jumps up 30, 40 cents. So, you know, keep that in mind. Another thing that'll help you save money is fuel cards and apps. Like apps like Trucker Path, it'll show you most of the fuel stations in your area. You can use that to find where is the fuel's the cheapest. They got apps called all type of fuel apps that you can use. Mudflap, you sign up for Mudflap and it show you where the cheapest fuel, and you also can save, get rebates or, money off and things like that. Fuel cards, you can apply for the same fuel cards that, most major carriers have. So, you can Google that and research those and find which one best works for you. I have the A to B fuel card. It really doesn't give me a rebate, but you can kind of like use that with other like apps and stuff and try to save money and manipulate it that way. But most fuel cards, depending on how good your credit is and your business credit is, you can save 10 and 20 cents, a gallon, if you get the right one. So check out those fuel cards. And Mudflap worked wonders for a lot of people. And you can use that to your advantage also. And also, you can use Trucker Path for navigation and things like that. But I would just, pre-plan, a little better, because sometimes these apps, if you use for navigation, it can throw you off a little bit. So these things right here, if you focus on these things to save money, you can save, like I said, $10,000 to $15,000 a year just by doing these things right here. And, that'll calculate, say in 3 years, if you save $10,000, hey, that's a down payment on another truck, or that's, a new set of tires for your 18-wheeler and your trailer. So these things that help you, and I hope this information will help you save money. And until next time, thank you for watching.